Hello again, friends, and welcome to another fine edition of 151. My name is Adam, and I'm joined by a man who once hunted, killed, cooked, and ate a snipe.
So good.
His name is Justin.
Thank you very much.
We are 151. We are brought to you by Skeleton Wine. You can find out more about them on their website, skeletonwines.com, or go to their social media. Facebook, they have it. It's at Skeleton Vineyards. The only way to say it.
Yep. Don't be a dick.
I won't. I will not do that. Anywho, as for us, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, all at 151 The Show. It's either make fun of that or make fun of you and Tumblr.
I know.
So pick your battle here, man. Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, all at 151 The Show. Plus, we hope that you subscribe to our Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and many other channels out there. Because we're on like everything now. So
yes.
Zang.
Maybe I should change the 151 The Show instead of just pointing to the Podbean page, like to the Google search results. When you do 151 The Show.
I guess you could do that if you really wanted to.
It'd make a lot of work for people. I'm just kind of messing.
Okay. Oh, you can mess with people, but I can't.
Exactly.
Okay.
Glad you figured this out.
I understand this.
How long did it take?
Today on the show, before we get to, because on the last show where we just kind of stumbled and tripped and fell into, hey, here's 40 minutes of audio or video, depending on how you look at it.
Here's 40 minutes of crap. Do what you want with it.
We decided that we were actually going to dive into Infinity War because that's been kind of the movie of the year so far. And by the way, what keeps popping?
I don't know.
Did you hear that?
I did.
Okay.
I think it's you.
Really?
I think every time it happens when you get loud.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. So. Anywho, so we are going to dive into that, but I have a funny story about the shirt I'm wearing.
And just before you get into that, I would like to say from your camera angle, I can see your Peter poking up.
Okay, so here's the story. Before we get into it, let me adjust.
Yes, microphone's in the way. Peter, he saw the ad, which if you've seen Deadpool 2, you know.
Yeah.
And he actually got that shirt before
the movie
came back because it was just based off the marketing.
Yeah, a friend of ours, Ryan Patrick, who has been on the show, supposed to be on the show this time, but Bush. Right.
We were supposed to have guests, Ryan. We set up in the main room because we were supposed to have guests.
Anyways, so Ryan sends me. I can't remember. He showed me the site, and it's superherostuff.com, right?
Yep.
And I see this shirt, and I can't remember if he sent me this shirt. I think he did because I was still at my old job. So. And I was like, oh, I just ordered it.
Yeah.
And there was this long wait for it and all of this. And once I finally got it, I had to take a picture and I put it up on Twitter. And I'm like, oh, look at this. This is awesome. Yep. And this dude writes me, and he's a random guy. And he's like, where did you get that shirt? And not thinking about it, I think, oh, it's just dude is admiring the shirt. No big deal. It is me. It is me. Sorry about that, everybody. I just took a breath, and it's like, boom, boom, boom. Yep, it's me.
So,
anyways, so this guy writes me, and
just
I'm like,
happens to have a blue check mark by his Twitter.
Yeah, so I go and look, and he says that he is a writer for Deadpool.
Yep. He's one of the main two.
Yeah, and I'm like, is this guy real? So I search him on Google, and lo and behold, guess what? Yeah, he is. And at that moment, I'm like, oh no. Did superherostuff.com have the
licensing to have the right?
Yeah, so I got scared.
Or may have not gotten, a cease and desist. We don't know how that all shook out because it was Rhett Reese, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. He never got back to us.
Yeah, once he saw the shirt and got the information he wanted, I never heard from him again.
Right.
But
probably enraged. We're probably on somebody's blacklist.
Yeah, so sorry about that. It's an awesome shirt. I love it, but
so at within a month, like, we made friends with people at the Orville and possibly, pissed off the collective team of Deadpool.
Yeah, that was the other cool one.
So Ryan Reynolds, I love you. I know you're Canadian, but I love you anyway.
Yeah, because we had an interaction with him, the writer from Deadpool, and then one of the guys from the Orville.
Yep.
Which I don't have his name pulled up, and
it's Tom. He's an editor on the Orville.
Yeah, he was very cool
and an awesome dude.
Yeah, and a couple other people that follow the Orville. They watch the Orville episode. St. Jerome and a few of her friends.
Yeah, we've interacted and met with some really awesome people.
It's what's his name? Tom Constantino.
Constantino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's at Tom Constantino on Twitter.
Sorry about the absolute mangling of your name there by my co-host here, buddy.
Yeah, I know. He's a good dude, though. But anyways, to make a long story short with him, because we got completely off topic,
right.
He was like, hey, do you guys live in California? No, we're in Iowa. And he's like, oh, you could have came and toured the Orville sets.
Oh, man.
It's like, oh, sorry, dude. Yeah, we're in Iowa, so...
That being said, the next time I have to go out to California for work, I am tweeting him so hard. That's not a threat, by the way.
No, sorry. The dude that's might be doing my drywalling just wrote me.
Oh,
so
okay.
Because of the basement. So, anyways, let me grab one thing before we keep going here.
Okay, so today we're doing Infinity War.
To help with the pops.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah. So, Infinity War.
So now that we've talked about your Peter.
About my Peter, about ruining super
may have gotten some cease and desist over your Peter.
And Tom Constantino. We can get to Infinity War, which came out. When did that come out? Early May.
Yeah.
So it's been 2 months.
Mid May.
Yeah, and here we are just now starting to talk about it.
Beginning of July for referencing the 40-minute rambling episode that we did last time for all of our excuses.
So, where do you want to start with this thing? Because I guess
at the beginning.
The thing that I really thought was cool about the movie was every time that they've gone, yeah, we're going to add all of these characters in and all these characters in and all these characters in, I keep thinking there's no way that they can do this story and do it justice and have all of these people in there and make it cool. And they do it every single time.
Right.
Marvel is unbelievable at working all of this stuff in and making it seem like it fits.
Failure. Complete failure.
Wait, what?
Where's Hawkeye?
He's going to be Nomad.
Where's Hawkeye?
Haven't you seen the stuff about his
although I will say
his uniform and all that?
I know. I'm just being an ass.
Okay.
I will say though, if you see the movie tag, had they not already established that Hawkeye had a family and 2 children, they could have easily made this is what Hawkeye was doing.
Oh, really?
And spun it as a cover identity. Yes.
Okay.
And go see Tag. It's phenomenal.
All right. So Tag's a good one.
Yep.
Cool. But yeah, that was the first thing I kind of noticed about the movie is they're able to take all of these characters in and put them in seamlessly
and balance them.
Yeah.
And nobody's ego's getting in the way that they're not the star of the movie. I mean, RDJ and Chris Evans, are giving equal time over to, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think all of them kind of, they got Gwyneth Paltrow. She's in the movie for, a minute and a half?
Yeah.
But she showed up to do it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive.
The movie as a whole was it was pretty seamless.
Yep.
Like, listen, is there always going to be, problems with a movie? Yes.
Is it a perfect movie? No.
No.
None of them ever are.
But, damn, that was pretty close, man.
Right.
I mean, there was surprise in it. There was humor. There was an amazing amount of good humor in that movie.
There really, really was.
I mean, just the interaction between Thor and Rocket and Groot was great.
So do you want to kind of go down through the movie and talk about it, hit the highlights? How you want to do it?
Well, I mean, it's been 2 months. I mean, I don't think there's really risk of spoilers at this point.
Right.
And I really don't care. If this was the week after, then maybe.
No, definitely spoiler alert.
But I do think if you go back, a year or so to when Mark Ruffalo ruined it already, and nobody took him serious.
Right.
And then the next thing you know, oh my God. Because he was doing some interview and he was like, Oh, just wait until everybody dies.
Right. Wait till you see the next one. Everybody dies.
Yeah, and then lo and behold,
Right.
pretty much half the
And
universe
I think
died.
Tom Holland did pretty much the same thing at one point during an interview.
Well, he said something about going into space or something.
Right.
But boy, there's so many places to go with that.
I do think the one place that they fell down in is we get to see the Black Order for the first time. Which, for those of you that don't know, are Thanos' lieutenants, so to speak. We get no introduction.
No, it's just
and no explanation of why these people are supposed to be as badass as they are. I mean, they don't even get named, I don't think, for the most part.
Do you really need it at that point, though?
You don't need it necessarily in this story, but the Black Order has been, like I said, really, a group of badasses over the years. They deserve better treatment than that, but no, in this movie, you don't necessarily need it.
Like, they show up, like, if Thanos is sending them out early,
Right.
as the pre-thing, it's like, okay, that's cool. These guys are badasses.
Right.
Except, what is weird? When they were fighting Scarlet Witch and Vision, and then Captain America and Hawkeye, or not Hawkeye, Falcon.
Where's Hawkeye, man?
Yeah,
Where's Hawkeye?
And what's her name? Black Widow show up. They handle it. That's two regular humans and a superhuman.
Right.
When the witch and the guy that can shoot laser beams out of his...
Who literally has an Infinity Stone embedded in his forehead.
Yeah, can't handle those two.
I know.
That was a little... Like, there's little things like that.
Right.
But, overall, it's like, eh.
Right, and to me, I mean, Black Widow and Falcon and Hawkeye have always been the real badasses out of that deal anyway, because, I mean, they're just well-trained humans.
Yeah.
That... can hang with these guys. I mean, yeah, they can't do all maybe the, some of the stuff they can do, but they hang with them. I mean, like Doctor Strange, he's the only guy I know that became a superhero by studying.
Yeah, that's the weird one. But yeah, going back to that, I mean, it's just like, okay, the Black Order just got run down by two humans and a superhuman.
Right.
So
what did you... What did you think? I thought the only thing that kind of that was a disassociative break from the last place we left all of our heroes was at the beginning. We don't see Valkyrie. We don't see Korg. We just see.
I don't care about Korg.
Okay.
Am I bad to say that? From
No.
Ragnarok, like Korg and the little bug man and stuff. Like Valkyrie
Meep.
was cool. Yeah, Meep or whatever the hell his name was.
Meek.
Like, everybody keeps talking about how funny and how they made the movie. They were not my favorite parts of Thor Ragnarok. And I don't care what happened to them.
Right. And
you could have
and
ground him up and put him as a display.
Right, and you don't necessarily have to. I mean, some people like the comic relief, and
It wasn't even that. It just wasn't very funny. It was like, okay, he's soft-spoken, and
I like the rock paper scissors joke.
yeah, that was funny. But, I mean, it's just, everybody keeps going on about how funny goddamn Korg is.
Right.
And he's not.
He's okay. You didn't think my joke a minute ago was funny either. Maybe you're the problem.
Maybe it is. I don't know. Sorry.
Thanks for rudely interrupting.
Sorry, I'm dealing with salespeople.
Don't know why I keep working with this
my
guy.
drywall guy. And all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Anywho.
No, my thing was just, we kind of picked up and only picked up on some select Asgardians at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And there is the theory, okay, so Loki died at the beginning. Thanos killed Loki. Mm-hmm. Although there is some people claiming that, Loki disguised himself and got sent to Earth with Banner.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It would certainly be a plausible out for how that guy survives and comes back to haunt us again. So, or in this case, because on the 10-year Marvel poster, he's both on the villain and the hero side. Can we accept that maybe he's flip-flopped? Maybe he's a good guy now?
Flip-flop.
Flip-flop.
FLDS?
Flippity-floppity.
I don't know. I don't know if Loki comes back or not.
I don't know either.
I mean, they've run that joke how many times
Right.
of him dying?
Right. Enough that they actually referenced it in
Why won't you stay
Ragnarok.
dead?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to depend on whether or not Tom Hiddleston gets James Bond next or not. So
Yeah, it could be. All right, so you have that. You have some of the characters not making it in, like Valkyrie, which
Hawkeye, where's
Dranks.
Hawkeye?
I don't know why from Thor Ragnarok I
Right.
love when she's like Dranks.
Yep. So you got cup holders because we're gonna need them.
Let's see what else. I thought Iron Man was spectacular in it.
Yes.
I thought it was funny they didn't do anything with Hulk because he's
Right.
afraid to come out.
Right.
I thought that was a good spin on things.
Right.
Fine, I'll do it myself, you big green.
And the fact that those two have developed to the point where they're actually, Banner and Hulk are now interacting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no.
Yeah. You big green. I don't know why I laughed at that part. I liked. I'm trying to think. It's been so long since I've seen. I've only ever seen the movie once.
Okay.
A buddy of mine got all over my ass for not seeing it more than once.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you like to publicly call him out here?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I thought the Spider-Man. I like the way they sectioned the groups off. I thought Peter Parker making it into space, and the Don't Tell Aunt May was fantastic. I do like any opportunity to throw Tony and Peter together because they really are. I don't think you can ever say that Tony's got a father-son relationship with anybody, but that's probably the closest thing to a mentor relationship.
Do we like the Spider-Man keep going back to old movies to solve problems thing?
Yes, no. It could be worse.
Yeah. Okay.
The only thing that I think is going to cheapen about this version of Peter Parker is, let's face it, if he needs some cash, when Tony finds out, he's got rich Uncle Tony basically as to be there. We're not going to have to suffer through the, broke ass Spider-Man, that.
It's funny you bring that up because there's a comic book, and I can't remember which comic it is for Spider-Man, but they're asking him to join the Avengers.
We have money.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, I know. That's it. Well, that was a thing with how the Marvel Sony deal went down. We have money. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, I like their interaction. I like I love the interaction between Tony and the Guardians.
Yep.
But you know what steals the show for me is
What's
still
that?
Thor, Rocket, and Groot.
Yes.
That absolutely stole the show. And I will say this. The best entrance probably since the first Avengers movie when Tony showed up with Shoot to Thrill.
Yeah. In Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the Guardians showing up in this movie with Preacher Man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That was fantastic. And the most inspired casting period throughout any of the Marvel stuff, Peter Dinklage in this movie.
As a giant.
That is, oh my God. There's about 25% of the audience that I saw it with that just absolutely cracked up, and the other 75% going, why is that funny?
Yeah. Because they didn't realize who it was.
Right.
No, I thought Thor was, I call him like it, that's his real name, but at this point it is.
Right.
I thought he was really funny. I thought the moment with Steve Rogers and Groot, I am Groot. I am Steve Rogers.
I see you copied my beard.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Do we like the Wakanda stuff?
I do.
Yeah.
It all ties back into the whole Wakanda. Don't get me wrong. If I had to take a place to make a last stand, they got to go get Bucky.
Yeah.
All the rest of it. It's a very good place. I still feel like to a certain extent they I don't know when everything was written. I feel like Wakanda's being overplayed right now because of how well Black Panther did. I still think Black Panther is a fantastic movie. I think it's moderately overhyped because of stuff surrounding it.
Okay, this is where,
and that probably gets way down into a rabbit hole that we don't need to go down. But
so this is my issue with Wakanda. They have enough technology to have an energy shield around the building, right?
Right.
How come they're not carpet bombing the incoming aliens with future tech?
Right.
And like laser beams shooting off the top of buildings and stuff.
Right. We just had multiple ships being loaded up with all this weaponry at the end of Black Panther, and yet there's not one single Wakandan fighter outside the shields going after the ships transporting troops in.
Well, it just seems like the battle they decided to fight was a lot different battle than the level of technology they should have.
Right. Let's all slug it out. You know, go hand to hand.
I feel like,
instead of having, huge, essentially Wakanda tanks, and huge batteries of, anti-personnel, Wakanda guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And create a perimeter.
Would that have made
lay down a perimeter of fire as soon as they broke through that shield?
Let me ask you this: would it have made that movie better if you made that scene instead of like the battle it was like kind of, because I think you can make the argument that it was kind of a it was an old school like
throwdown brawl,
like Braveheart type style fight, right?
Instead of being more realistic where they're all pulled into the city and using city defenses and
well there's that, but make it a little bit more. If you would have made that part of the movie a little bit like the opening of Saving Private Ryan. Mm-hmm. With just, firepower just raining down on these aliens and stuff.
I think it...
And don't get me wrong, I like that part of the movie.
I think from a storytelling perspective, you move to a much more, realistic, maybe pitched battle with, Steve Rogers and T'Challa standing in a situation room, commanding, more. You move it from brawlers to generals.
Yeah.
And I think what they wanted was a bigger, badder version of the airport.
I guess.
They want to put these people up on screen tearing people up.
That's cool, and I think you could have done that, but I feel like you missed out because I feel like a place like Wakanda would have better defenses, except...
I agree, but then you wouldn't have...
Where's the Ed 209 of Wakanda?
Right, you wouldn't have gotten to see our superheroes out on the battlefield slugging it out.
Well, you could have had that, but you could have also had, hey, let's give them some cover fire.
Right.
Instead of just, hey, Scarlet Witch shows up and she tears that thing in two.
Right.
And then the one lady's like, hey, where's she been the whole time?
Right. Yeah. Okay, so 40 guys are on cap and he calls in, a drone for some anti-personnel fire.
Yeah. I just feel like this, Wakanda would have that type of technology.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that, well, actually, yeah, I am. Wakanda sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't even have a Starbucks, apparently.
To be fair, or McDonald's.
Or McDonald's.
Never hosted the Olympics.
I know.
Obviously they're not.
Come on, get with it.
Power nation. Then again, I don't think they've ever had to, repel an alien force before.
They had a energy shield around the place.
Right.
They're looking to repel somebody.
Well, that's also their cloak.
Okay, fine, but they opened it up. You still had an energy shield around the building.
Right.
Leads me to believe you probably got some pretty good weapons technology. We made some hovercrafts. That look like they're straight out of Star Wars. Return of the Jedi.
Yes, we just saw this, massive mountain mine versus full of vibranium.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. It's a huge Wakanda. You suck. Not Wakanda forever. Wakanda maybe not very much longer.
So the other kind of weird part of the movie, what'd you think of Peter Quill? Because he kind of effed up the whole plan.
I don't think that you can really lay that at his feet.
Because that turned into a big thing on social media. Was Peter Quill a good guy, or was he the bad guy in the situation?
Nobody ever expected that. I mean, you could go back to, if we're going to pick out individual decisions that were poor ones here that led to all this, there's a lot of. I mean, why didn't Thor go for the headshot?
Because he's flying through the air with a brand new weapon.
Because they weren't playing the immigrant song in the background. That's what messed him up. There's so much stuff that could have been. Peter Quill reacted in a the only three people in his life he's ever loved has been his mother, Yondu, even though he didn't know it, and Gamora, and he was losing the third one basically, within, he lost Yondu, there's like a 4-year gap or something like that. I don't think he reacted maybe poorly. He couldn't know. He reacted humanly.
Okay. He reacted stupidly then.
He didn't react with any, that was not a malicious decision. That was not it could be said that it's moderately selfish, but in that situation where he just killed Gamora, I mean, who wouldn't be selfish and focusing on their needs?
Another question.
Okay.
As we kind of find really small things to pick at in this movie.
Right. It ruined the whole movie for me. You suck, Marvel. I'm never going to see another one of your movies.
Well, listen, the Peter Quill thing, it did become a big thing on social media after,
I know it did. And all those people that are doing that, chill the F out, okay? It's a good movie.
The other one that...
There you go, show topic. Times when people take it too far.
Okay. I can give you a couple of those. Got a couple stories.
Okay.
The other weird thing in there, and like I said, this is, finding stuff to kind of pick apart in this. Red Skull.
Yeah.
Yay or nay with that?
I thought it was great.
Yeah?
I thought it was great.
I didn't understand how... I know we saw him disappear in the, Captain America movie.
Sucked out in with the Tesseract.
And then all of a sudden, hey, we're going to put you in charge of this.
Right.
Good luck.
Of a different stone.
Of a different stone.
Right.
It's like, how did you make the leap from Tesseract, shooting your ass into space, to guarding the Soul Stone on a mountain face in a black cloak forever?
It's not, explicitly, said how it happened, but I mean, we can guess that the Tesseract containing the Space Stone transported him to that.
Here's
and
where
then
starts happening, everybody.
And then yes, I mean, he was maybe transported to that planet and tried to get the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
And
didn't have anything to sacrifice.
Since he couldn't do it, then it, picked him as its emissary.
I don't know. That was just
because the Soul Stone seems to contain a certain amount of intelligence. I mean, in the fact that it recognizes who's sacrificed and who hasn't, this, that, and the other. It's the only one that does seem to have any sentience. But if, we accept the fact that the Soul Stone does either contain souls or has a soul, then that makes sense. It's not just a source of power. There's a limited amount of sentience.
Okay, as we come to the end of this show.
Okay.
Let me ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
How much... how do I word this right? I just had it and then it slipped out.
That's what she said.
I wish that's what she said. How much... Okay, actually, that was the question I wanted to do
How
first.
much? You've already asked me.
No. Are the people that disappeared at the end of the movie, are they dead? Are they actually dead, or are they inside the Soul Stone?
It depends on how he used the power. If he went back and wiped them all out of existence, if he just made them cease to be in the current existence, I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see how they explain that one, and make that line up with the those people are actually dead, but they're not gonna kill off half the roster. I mean,
no, especially when there's sequels coming out.
There's sequels coming out. It's just not gonna. It's a comic book. I mean, there aren't any deaths that stick in comic book.
Was it crappy that they showed when Doctor Strange still had the Time Stone and he was doing the weird meditation thing?
Right.
Did they pretty much just give away the movie?
No.
That he said that there's, went through millions of different possibilities, and there's only one.
And I would like to address something that I have seen on social media. Doctor Strange did not give two shits about Tony Stark's life. He did not give him the Time Stone to save Tony Stark's life. Doctor Strange would have killed Tony himself 100 times.
No, but what
if it would have prevented it? This was the one outcome that they had a chance of winning.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not, Tony Stark
Right.
aside and all these people aside, when you say that there's only one possibility for us to win,
Right.
and he gives away one of their most powerful weapons, that pretty much gives away what's going to happen, right?
Right. That's
That we're on the track of the one possibility.
right. That either we're going down the realm of, especially if those people are dead. We're on the realm of either going to from Earth 616 to ultimate territory.
Yeah. Well, the MCU does have a universe number.
Right. I know it does.
It's like 9999999
Right.
or something like that.
And they even introduced Carol Danvers in her green Captain Marvel outfit in a recent episode or a recent book to make it.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You okay?
Make it work.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean we're set up for time travel, some sort of shenanigans.
Yeah.
To get this done.
Does Tony make the Asgardian version of his Iron Man armor at some point?
That'd be cool.
Because he did that in the comic book at one point.
That'd be cool. In one point, but in one point they age up Thor so that he's more powerful to take on Thanos as well. So I mean, there's a lot of different routes we can go here. I'm curious to see which one they'll pick.
All right, final question before we wrap this up. How do we feel about Captain Marvel coming into this?
I have somewhat of a hesitation anytime that I read sort of the stuff that I have surrounded to her that, this will be your, leader of Phase 4. This will be what everything's centered around. I don't always like it when the new guy gets as much attention and is set with suddenly with equal footing as,
That's kind of where I'm at with it, because it's like, okay, we've been with these heroes for 10 years.
Right.
When it comes to, final play, kind of want to give Tony Stark or Thor the ball. Or even, Steve Rogers.
Right.
Which,
by the way, speaking of Steve Rogers, just popped in my head. Steve Rogers, born July 4th, 1918. So it was just his 100th birthday here a couple of days ago on 4th of July. So happy birthday, Captain Rogers.
Happy birthday, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you for your service.
By the way, you know what other thing just happened?
What?
It has nothing to do with comic books or anything.
What?
Our buddy Seth, Bigfoot Hunter?
Yeah.
Just got married.
Yes.
By the time this show's out, Seth, you outkicked your coverage, buddy.
Right. Way outkicked your coverage. You are punching above your weight, my friend.
Yeah, congratulations to you and your wife.
And
your new wife.
May you
live in the misery that we live in every day.
Well, I was going to make a joke about hunting her squatch, but whatever.
Oh, boy. Okay, so we're kind of on the same page with Captain Marvel.
Right.
So.
Right. Again, I'm sure I'll be entertained by whatever they put out. Yeah. I have no doubts about that whatsoever.
Does her movie come out before the next one?
I think it comes out like 2 months before Avengers 4 Endgame, whatever the hell they're going to call it. Because it goes Ant-Man,
which is out already
right now. Captain Marvel, I think, is the next release. Avengers 4, and then Spider-Man Far From Home, I think, is coming out right after that.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
all right.
What's frustrating is because they shot Avengers 3 and 4 right back to back, there is a locked copy of that movie sitting somewhere.
You know what we have to do, right?
Pull a Fanboys, like when they broke into Skywalker Ranch, and go get it.
Yeah.
Which one of us is going to be the dying one? Although the way I sound today, I think it's me. So
well, between you and all your parts.
Right, exactly.
So, all right, friends, that's going to do it for this edition of 151. We are brought to you by Skeleton Wines. You can find out more about them at skeletonwines.com or on their Facebook page, which is at Skeleton Vineyards. As for us, we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, all at 151 The Show. You can also find us on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and many other channels. We hope that you subscribe to it. And don't forget, you can find all of this information, including sponsor information, at 151theshow.com. We can't end without a shameless plug.
Cue the music.
Cue the music. You want to try it one more time? A little bit more excited. Cue the music.
You're going to leave all this in, aren't you?
Yeah.
Cue the music.
Shameless plug is a part of the show where we shamelessly plug something. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a t-shirt. It could be a restaurant. It could be a tool. It could be a movie theater. It could be anything at all. But we shamelessly plug it, and we hope that you enjoy it. Justin?
I would like to shamelessly plug Traeger grills this week. They are a wood pellet fired grill / smoker. I've had one now for quite some time.
Yeah, I ate your meat today.
Yes, I replaced.
It was succulent.
Thank you. It was very moist. I replaced. I used
You
to
should
run,
be talking like real close to the mic on this one.
really down and really sexy.
It's really moist and
tender.
controlled. Here, wait. Here,
You're gonna love my meat in your mouth.
I'm gonna turn down all your high ends and turn your.
There we go. So, what I can tell you about his experience today is when he put my meat in his mouth, he wanted to swallow.
It's so good with it all the way turned down.
So I started out with a 12-pound piece of beef.
Dun, 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 dun.
I removed some of the fat, but I left some on for flavor.
Dun, 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 dun.
I took my meat and I rubbed it thoroughly.
Where's Thorogood when you need him?
Exactly.
Is he dead?
No.
George Thorogood?
No, I just saw him a couple of years ago at the fair.
Okay, cool. Anywho.
I let my meat marinate overnight in its own juices and the rub. Then I slowly smoked it for 9.5 hours. So, anyway.
I was going to say, this is the one we're going to be sending to these people.
Well, I think we should mention them, you know.
Yeah.
So the beauty about this is I had electric for a long time. I started out on charcoal and wood. I moved to electric. I moved to the wood-fired grill. The great thing about this is it's self-regulating for the temperature. So you can literally, I can set this thing and I can go spin an hour. I have a wireless, internal meat temp probe. Internal temperature probe. It really does. It takes all the guesswork. I mean, it really comes down to now a formula. You have heat, you have meat, you have time.
So are you, okay, let me ask you this. If you have all that stuff, are you actually a good cook, or is it more the equipment doing the work? Your thoughts, Justin.
I've seen a lot of people mess it up with really good equipment. So, I mean, it still comes down to the flavors that you use, the techniques.
Yeah.
For example, when my brisket hits 170 degrees, I go ahead and foil wrap it so it doesn't dry out.
Oh.
And that really brings up the moisture content.
We still got to do a cooking show and a sandwich show at some point.
You got a brisket that I cooked on the 4th of July. It's now Saturday. So you got 4-day-old brisket that was reheated in a microwave.
It was awesome.
And it was pretty amazing, right?
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to have any minute.
So, Traeger grills, they are pricey, but they are, in my opinion, worth every dime.
What if this is the shameless plug that pays off?
Then I would like a bigger one than the one I've got now, so I can because a 12-pound brisket was everything. We'll put up a picture here. This thing was filled.
Okay.
I mean, I couldn't have fit any more meat in this, no matter how hard I pushed.
We could.
I can do this all day.
I was gonna say.
That's what she said.
we could never do a whole show about cooking meat
Oh no, we can't, and I think we should.
because it would just turn into debauchery.
Well, it may require more beeps and or a /MA rating than what the show did, where I like literally swore just so you'd have to beep it.
Yeah. No, that was a good show.
There would be so much innuendo in this show that it would
awesome.
be innuendo before we got done.
Okay, on that note. All right, that's going to do it for us. That's your shameless plug of the week. Who is it for again? Traeger Grills. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, we are brought to you by Skeleton Wines. Find out more about them at their website, skeletonwines.com, or on social media at Skeleton Vineyards. We are on Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. Please subscribe to our channels and find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, all at 151 The Show, or as the background says, there we go, 151theshow.com. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.